What is Trash Mag? Trash Mag is a women-led media organization that provides a platform for creative ideas. From fine art to storytelling, we combat the exclusivity of the art and the media world by prioritizing underrepresented voices. So art and narrative is displayed through our digital and print magazine, our events, merchandise, our website, as well as our blog. So how did it start? Trash Mag was established in 2016 as a passion project and adopted by my friend Sarah and I in 2017 on Whittier's campus, our freshman year. I think once we got to Whittier, we were really looking for a creative community. And I think, we, being young women and artists ourselves, we found it tough to get our art out there and to have our voices heard. So we realized that if we were noticing this, many more artists who are much more underrepresented than us must be facing the same issue. And we were really done waiting, waiting for someone to make that space for us. So we just went ahead and did it ourselves. And so over the past 3 years now, with Sarah and I, plus our now team of amazing creative people, have created 10 issues of Trash Mag and hosted around 25 community events in cities across the country, primarily in Los Angeles and my hometown of Minneapolis. So it's been super rewarding, awesome. But why did I decide to do my senior project about it? I really, when thinking about the senior project, I really wanted to explore kind of how Trash Mag can move into the future. There's so many different options, and I think this project was a great opportunity for me to kind of dig deeper and explore one of those options, which is to create a for-profit business. So that's one of many, but it was something that I was really interested in. And I was also very inspired by the Start Your Own Business class taught by Dr. Duran. So I think I really landed on this after much thought and yeah. So my research question was, how can Trash Mag move into the future? A business plan, that was what I came up with. And then what does every good business plan have? Market research. So I combined those two to create my senior project. So this was my process. I already talked about kind of how I got the idea and started. And then the first big thing I had to do was to create a survey, which I had never honestly done anything like this before, hadn't done market research, anything like that. So it was really a learning experience for me to figure out how to make a very user-friendly, short survey that people will actually take, but also gives me the information that I need to know to make my business plan. So yeah, I think it went really well. I got about 60 responses, which is I was pretty happy with, but moving into the future, I'll definitely want to get more if I do this another time. So what I did was took the results from that survey and then put them into the business plan to help create the business plan. So I used a small business association template and filled out about a 25-page business plan, going through many different topics, and then used the results to kind of bolster different sections of the business plan to kind of prove with numbers and different quantitative and qualitative research, kind of back up the things that I was saying in the business plan. And then for number 5, growth, I will talk about that at the end. Okay, so digging deeper, what were my findings? So the next few slides, I'll go into 3 sections of the business plan that utilized the market research results. I'm not going to go through the whole business plan because we don't have time for that, and it gets a little bit dry at certain parts of it, so I'm going to talk about the fun stuff. But just so you know, in the business plan, there are many other topics, such as a section for our mission and vision statement, our organization chart, and a financial breakdown of startup costs. So yeah, so this section of the business plan is called the definition of the market. The kind of point of this is to just figure out who's your target audience, who's your community, who's in it, and then you can figure out how best to serve that population. So of course, I had assumptions maybe about some of these responses, but it was really truly amazing to see it in real life and be able to kind of quantify some of these things. Um, as you can see, for example, for age, we really cater, or not cater, but we really attract 18 to 24-year-old people. And this is really important knowledge for me to know because that I believe that relates directly to the individual monthly income answer. Um, there's a big chunk at $1,000 to $4,000 a month. So, these are things that as a business person, like I need to be very aware of these things when I'm pricing items, making sure that they're accessible for our community. And yeah, I found this section to be really interesting, kind of looking at the different demographics that we naturally attract. And that really helped make the definition of the market section of the business plan that much better because I could actually show like I've done this research. So yeah, this section is the description of products and services. Pretty self-explanatory for kind of what's in it. I described the kinds of products we have, the services, and I used these kind of survey questions in this section. So I asked in the survey, what are Trash Mag's most and then least attractive products and services? Um, I I mean, it's great to know what we're doing well, but I love to know kind of maybe where we could do better. So it was really awesome to see for our most attractive products, it goes for the first magazine, second events, third blog, which has like our interviews and artist highlights. And then for our least attractive product and service, it was kind of definitely Spotify. And so that's something that of course I can, and I have used this information to talk to the team about like, what can we do with this information? Make sure that we're really um, bringing useful and interesting things to our community. In addition to that, I asked, where do you go for services comparable to Trash Mag? I was very happy that most people said nowhere else. But there's a pretty big chunk with Instagram, another zine or arts organization, and then another news or media organization. And in addition to that, the last one on this, I asked how essential is Trash Mag to you? And also was very pleased with this response. Most people put 5 out of a 1 to 5 sliding scale. And I think both of those two responses kind of gave me confidence that potentially turning this into a business could be a great viable option for the future. And then for this section is our marketing and sales strategy. So this part of the business plan is, okay, so now you know your target market, you know who they are, where they live, all those types of things, their demographics, their psychographics, and then you've described your products and services. Now, how are you going to let people know about it? How are you going to reach new people in that community? So I really wanted to ask some qualitative questions. So for the first one, I asked, what do you look for in a creative community? The trends that I saw in this section and people's responses were acceptance, inspiration or new ideas, empowerment, opportunities to collaborate and create with other artists, validation, love, very cute, a sense of community, shared resources, and diverse perspectives. And then for the second question, Trash Mag is really about supporting artists. So I really wanted to directly make space for that in the survey and be like, if you're an artist, what do you need? Like, are we meeting that? And then we can kind of evaluate those things. So for this question, some trends that I saw were financial support, probably not much of a surprise. People need money. In addition to that, opportunities to share their craft, engagement on social media since in-person exposure is limited right now, and then different opportunities to develop their skills and get feedback and critique from other artists, which I thought was pretty cool. So how will this research move into the future? So since it's a small business association approved business plan, it's essentially ready to go. When the Trash Mag team and I decide to do so, we could launch this business. And however, if that's not the form of organization that we end up landing on, I'm pretty certain I'll be launching a business of some kind at some point in my life. So it's been really helpful to learn these skills. And this project definitely made me realize that businesses should be taking these kinds of audits and doing market research many times post-launch, not just for the business plan section. I definitely want to continue doing these types of things with Trash Mag because I really think doing the work and being intentional while listening to the needs of your market community is everything. And I definitely learned so much from this project, and it was kind of the perfect way to wrap up my college experience. So thank you for listening. I have my email here if you want to reach out to me. I also have Trash Mag's website and Instagram. Definitely follow us and keep up with us there. And now I'm open to any questions.